How many screenplays have you written?
I don't know. 15? Maybe 20? I don't know.
These include short and feature?
No, I'm only talking about features.
Oh, okay. 15?
Maybe 20, actually. I mean, because I get rewrite jobs sometimes. I mean, you mean original or
Could be a total.
combo?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably 20.
20, wow. Okay. And some of those you were paid for, and some of those are ones that you have in a drawer that you want to make when the timing's right?
Some of them are in a drawer and need to stay there. And some of them, yeah. So I have some of those. I've had rewrite jobs. I've had page one jobs. And then there's a couple that I've written that I'm just really dying to do. Really only a couple, though. Out of the 20, I would say there's like 3.
So do you think that you're more precious about starting a film to make sure that everything's in line, that you don't want to do it prematurely just because you really want to get this idea out there?
I think as I get older, yeah, more so. I used to be in more of a hurry, whereas now I'm like with the 5 Family script that I'm working on right now. I'm eager to shoot, but I have to let it figure itself out, properly before we do it. So yeah, I'm more patient with that, with letting the process kind of unfold.
How do you start a screenplay? What's your process like?
I don't know if I have a process. I mean, it's a great question. I don't think about this stuff a lot, but sometimes it's an image. Sometimes it's a dream. Sometimes just an overall theme or idea. I think if I go back to the genesis of 5 Families, it was really, it was more thematic. I think it was more like, we live in a world where the gangsters are now cops, and the real gangsters are kind of just working class or dead or in jail. And what do those lines of law and order look like today in a real way? I think that was kind of how I got started.
Interesting.
But Restraint, completely different. As I was telling you, Restraint was a short story that I read called The Yellow Wallpaper that really turned on the lights for me. And I just took how I reacted to that story and just started writing. So I think it's different every time.
And that was a female protagonist, right?
Mm-hmm.
When women watch the film, and forgive me, I've just seen the trailer, but when women watch the film, do they have any thoughts for you?
Sure. I mean, I don't know that they have thoughts for me as women. It was like, just as moviegoers, really. So I can't really distinguish between what women or men have said to me, but usually with Restraint, it's questions. They have questions, which is the whole idea. I mean,
what type of questions do they have?
Well, I mean, you need to see the film to understand the context, but just about certain things that happen in the film, and the ending's a touch ambiguous, and her journey is a little ambiguous, but the answers are there.
Do you like that? Do you like creating that ambiguity in what you write? Because it seems like you like to figure out. You don't want things just laid out for you. I get the sense that you like puzzles. You really like to have your mind working. Somewhat.
I mean, not for the sake of itself, but I mean, I personally like that as a viewer, but as a writer or a filmmaker, I'm not trying to withhold intentionally. I believe in subtext, and I think subtext is a really powerful tool in a writer's shed, and an actor's shed especially. And I prefer subtext to straight exposition any day. I don't think with that one, I don't think I was actively trying to withhold anything, really, but it was the kind of thing where I was dealing with themes that I didn't want to spell out. And at the same time, I think as a filmmaker, if you're using ambiguity, you need to know the answer. Not everything can be what do they call it, a MacGuffin or whatever, whatever's in the briefcase in Pulp Fiction, I don't really want to know, but I think Tarantino knows. And I think that's the most important thing. I think whatever the fuck ended Inception, whatever's going on, that director knows. And I trust that he knows, and I think that's the key.
Okay, I like that. What's the worst way to start a screenplay?
Well, with stage directions, I don't know. It's a great question that I've never thought about. Like fast, like really grab them in a way that's not self-consciously grabbing them. Fight Club has a great opening. I thought Fight Club was a great screenplay. Read anything by Walter Hill that he wrote, and that's how you start a screenplay. I don't know. I don't really have, other than just grab them and really give them something visual to latch onto, in some cases. I can just say what I think doesn't work, which is like what I see a lot in screenplays, and this isn't necessarily like having to do with how you start a script, but like if you find yourself writing a lot of stage directions, like, you know, Jane turns right and she walks 10 feet and then she scratches her head and then she, you know, looks longingly out the window. You don't need that shit. And no actor is going to perform that or refer to that and say, oh, wait, it says I look longingly. No, they're going to wait for a direction from the director, as they should. So go easy on stage directions, and I think the biggest one is if you find yourself writing things in parentheses in the dialogue, as far as how the character is supposed to say the line, stop, and just don't do that. Unless there's some confusion about who the character is speaking to, don't have it. Which is a long way of saying let go, you know, of that stuff, and focus on, I don't know, the literary and what people are actually seeing.